Well, separatists in Alberta, they just hit a major milestone. They now have enough signatures to trigger a historic vote. They potentially could leave Canada. It could be given its own independent state. And now, for America, this is huge because Alberta is one of our biggest oil suppliers and of all kinds of energy as well that we get from Alberta. So a potential breakup of Canada could send shockwaves through gas prices. It could have impacts on that. I'm going to bring in the host of the Charbonne Report because he follows this very closely. Michael Charbonne. Also with me is the Alberta Bureau Chief for Rebel News, Sheila Gunn-Reid. Great to have you both here. I'm going to start with you, Michael, because you and I talk about Canada quite often here on this show. But I did have a chance to talk to the Alberta Premier about separating when I was in Houston at the CIRA Week. That was back in March. Now, this is the Super Bowl of energy conferences, but I wanted to ask her if they would leave. Watch.
Not everybody in Alberta is convinced, but I think if we can land a few more of these common areas of understanding, get some pipelines built, get more production happening, I think that will demonstrate that Canada can and does work.
So, Michael, where are we at with this? Are Albertans now going to vote to potentially leave Canada?
John, there's 5 million conservative voters in Alberta. They've spent 16 painful years under the Liberal dominance with Katy Perry's boyfriend. Remember that oil is an employer, it's an economic driver, and it's worth about $200 billion in economic activity to Canada. That's like 8% of the GDP. 30% of Albertans want to separate. 70% wish to remain. 80% of Canadians oppose separation because I think it's going to be detrimental. Finally, not reading the room, Treasury Secretary Bissett said that Alberta would be a natural partner to the U.S. Well, all that did was, I would one say, galvanize American dissent. Alberta will not separate. They're posturing. They're demanding recognition for their oil, as they should. But I think this is just posturing. They're not going to leave, John.
Sheila, what do you make of this situation? I mean, this was all talk at one point, but now they can actually put this on the ballot.
It will be on the ballot in October. I disagree with your other guest that this is just posturing. This is a completely organic movement of Albertans who have experienced over 100 years of obstructionist policies, both against oil and gas, but also against agriculture. 301,000 Albertans have signed this petition to trigger a referendum, more than double the required, and 7,000 volunteers worked in some of the most bitterly cold conditions to collect these signatures. This isn't posturing. For a lot of people, this is their one chance to preserve what Canada used to be. Albertans have had it with crime. They've had it with out-of-control immigration. They've had it with green energy policies. They've had it with DEI. And this is their one shot, I think, for a generation, because I don't think they'll get a shot again. And they are serious. They do have a really strong uphill battle to fight, but they're going to work through the summer and they're going to do their best.
Interesting. I'm watching this really closely because Trump always talks about the 51st state. Well, this could maybe be the 51st state if this all happens. Doubtful, but anyway, we'll watch it very closely. Sheila Gunn-Reid, Michael Charbonne, great to have you both here.
Thank you.
All right, we got the second hour.